The National is less than 1 week away. I'm excited. Many people in the hobby are buzzing about this great event. So we're going to talk a little bit about preparations for the National, personal to myself. Really excited to share this with you. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the whole entire internet. As usual, I am your host, Jake Roy, 90s B-Ball Cards here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a little bit of Twitter, what do you know, slacking on TikTok, and like I had mentioned as a footnote last time, also take a look at Threads. I have at least secured my username there, but I haven't done any playing around there yet. So, lots of fun stuff to keep an eye on for me. But yeah, so today we're going to talk through the top 5 cards that I'm trying, hopefully, to get at the National. Not that I'm going to land all 5 of them. You never know what's going to happen. The National can be quite a very fever pitch for deals. But these are the 5 cards, so very similar, a lot of similar information to what we talked about in my top 10 wish list, but some more specific details, some more stuff specific to the National. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so when I was thinking about sharing some of my preparations, I was thinking, you know, maybe I'd share some of the cards that I'm bringing with me for trades or for sale or whatever the case may lead to, or some of the supplies I'm going to have in my backpack, all that kind of stuff. But I thought something that might be a little more interesting, because I have gotten a number of questions on it, would be the cards that I'm looking to get. I'm hoping that I will stumble across at showcases or find other collectors that have them and are willing to move them. You know, so part of the reason why I was thinking through doing this is the first time I went to National, which was 2 years ago, the #1 dream card on my list that I thought, honestly, I joked about with some friends, was the 97-98 EX 2001 Jambalaya. Not only did I get it, I also got it in a BGS 9, which was in the highest BGS 9. It's only a half a sub-grade away from being a min gem. So that was a dream card that I really didn't think I was going to be able to get, that I did end up getting. I was extremely happy that I was able to get that through, you know, kind of a labyrinth of deals. And then going into the next National, last year's in Atlantic City, my #1 card was the 98-99 UD Choice Star Quest Gold, or 4-star. I did not land that one. I didn't even see one. I saw Reggie Miller and a couple other players, but I did get that after the National. My #2 card on the list was the 97-98 Fleer Ultra Stars Gold. I got that one of Penny, also in a BGS 9, you know, and that one took a lot of work and a lot of help from friends. So I'm kind of 2 for 2 of hitting some of the top cards that I've been wanting to get. And there were a bunch of cards also last year that I was able to get at the National. You know, the 500 volts Penny is another one that stands out. The Apparitions Refractor #100. All 3 of those graded, one by BGS, one SGC, one PSA. So you can tell I do not discriminate amongst the grading companies. It's really about the card, and if I can get it raw, I'm just as happy, as long as I'm sure of the authenticity. So, and actually, I can't even forget I'd be remiss to forget the Triumvirate Illuminator, 97-98 Triumvirate Illuminator of Penny that I also got. That one was in BGS 9.5. So last year I got 4 cards that were on probably my top 15 list, one of them being the #2 on my list, and the year before that I got the #1 on my list. So let's talk through the 5 cards. I'm hoping I can come away with one of these cards. If I got any one of them, I'd be ecstatic. So we're going to start at #5, and this, you know me, I can never just do 5. So this is a kind of a 2 for 1 here at #5. So we're going to talk about the 98-99 NBA Hoops BAMs, but we also have to talk about the Slam BAMs. So the BAMs are numbered to 250, and the Slam BAMs are numbered to just 100 copies. And these ones come up, you know, like a lot of other cards we've talked about from the 90s, they come up less frequently than you would expect from those serial numbers. So last year I did see a Slam BAMs, another collector had it. I think it was BGS graded, I can't remember the grade. The price was something that was not in my wheelhouse. So it's one of those that the sales data, you know, looking through Card Ladder and that beautiful tool that they have that can kind of help you predict what the value of a card might be, indicates that the Slam BAMs in a raw copy might be around $2,000 to $3,000. Now, honestly, if one came up for auction, I think it'd probably go for quite a bit more. But you know, who knows? It's really anybody's guess. So you know, that's kind of the range. I would say, you know, 1,500 to 3 grand. If I was able to find one for around that price, I would absolutely jump on it. You know, the last one that I saw sell publicly was it back in 2010. I think it sold for about $200. So, you know, we're using that as kind of a benchmark. The next one, right next to that, like we talked about, is the BAMs. So that one being numbered to 250. I think that one might be around a $900 card if I was to be able to find that in a raw format. The last one I saw sell was actually in June for $700, I believe. I can't remember if that was raw or graded, but I'll flash that sale up there. So, you know, anything around 700 to 2 grand, I think would probably be the wheelhouse, depending on condition, depending on grade, all that kind of stuff for a BAMs. So either of those would be phenomenal, but as you can see, the Slam BAMs and the BAMs, those prices that I shared are not too different, and we know that the Slam BAMs are significantly more desirable than the BAMs because they are, you know, much lower numbered. So that's why I'm saying that I think the Slam BAMs would really be a reach to try to get, but that would be a great one if I could find it. I'd have to be there before somebody else. So number 4 on the list is going to be 99-2000 Topps MVP promotions. The 99-2000 set has one of him in the Suns uniform, this being Penny, and one in the Magic uniform. I'd prefer the Magic uniform, but I want both of them ultimately. There's only 100 copies of each, but those are cards that you could stumble upon in a dollar bin or, you know, a bargain bin of some kind. So, you know, not out of the realm of possibility, definitely not expected. They are definitely not $1 cards. So the last one that I saw sell, I think, was 2017, and I think that one sold for right around $30 or $40. You know, I think that Card Ladder said that if that was to come for sale today, it would probably be about $150. You know, so that's kind of the price range that I'd be hoping for, is somewhere between $100 and $200 for one of those pennies. Again, 99-2000 is really the one that I want. The other ones subsequent years are Suns uniforms that I don't really enjoy as much, so, you know, I want them, but to a lesser degree. That 99-2000, especially the Magic, is one that I'd really love to find, but it's a needle in a haystack. It's MVP promotions are ones that, you know, player collectors really seek, but not a lot of dealers are going to have those out in showcases. So, you know, putting out the bat signal if you know where one is right now. The next one, number 3 on the list, is going to be the 97-98. This is the Upper Deck UD3, or I just found out it's actually UD cubed. I've always called it UD3. But anyway, so the season ticket auto of Penny. And this is one, like I talked in my top 10 video, I'm really picky on the autograph. I want a clean auto. It doesn't have to be graded, but the material that is on the top of the card is hollow foil, and the autograph does not stick between the material and the pens that they use, the markers that they use. There's a lot of bubbling and streaking and all that kind of stuff. So I want a clean auto. They also, there's a lot of faded ones out there. So I want something that is clean. So I am a bit picky with that. You know, but with that being said, something that's graded doesn't hurt either. You know, so that I think would probably be about a $700 card if I was able to find it. The last one was sold in May of 23, and I think that was about $500. I can't remember exactly what the autograph looked like on that one, or the specifics were, but, you know, so somewhere between 500 and 1,000 is what I would expect if I can find one of those. You know, so fingers crossed on finding one and that it's in good shape. Number 2 on the list, 97-98 Topps Finest. This would be the gold embossed die cut refractor. It's a mouthful. Those are numbered to just 74 copies of Penny. Greening is a very prevalent issue with those. I've talked to others about that for other players as well. It's not just Penny. So, you know, a very rare card. The last time that one sold, to my knowledge, was a private sale. I believe it was graded a PSA 7. It might have been a raw copy, but I believe that sold for $1,500. Since then, there has been a sale. I think it was I think it was before that, in December of this last year. I think it sold for $3,000, and I believe that was a raw copy, a very good looking raw copy, I will add. You know, so that's a card that I think probably about $2,000 is, you know, a fair target. it's one of those that I could definitely see showing up in a showcase, but having a much higher asking price, especially if it's graded, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, 2,000 is a price that I'd be comfortable trying to make a deal at, you know, but anywhere between 1,500 and $3,000, I think is fair. But again, wouldn't be surprised if one showed up and it was significantly higher than that mark. And, you know, that's always a starting point. You can always negotiate, but sometimes, you know, if you start to get, you know, something that's 2-3 times the market value in a case, it gets harder and harder. You know, but like I've said, one of my favorite things to do at the National is making trades. I've found some dealers that are willing to make trades at, you know, fair value and all that type of stuff. So, you know, anything's possible. Anything's possible, especially at National. Honorable mention, this is one that I had missed out on the last time I was in Chicago, you know, just by really 15 minutes, is the 98.99 Fleer Brilliance 24 karat gold of Penny. Those are numbered to just 24 copies, and that one sold, as far as I'm aware, for about $3,000 at that National. It's one that I would have loved to have gotten, but would have put a pretty big dent in my budget for National, or would have taken a lot of the trade fodder that I had with me. So, you know, it's tough to make that kind of a deal early on, and the deal also wasn't there by the time I got there. So that is one that I would have loved to have found, still love to get, but the last one that sold was actually on a weekly auction from Golden in a BGS 8.5, one that I thought would probably go for about the same price, maybe a little bit less, and I believe it went for like $13,000. So I think that one is going to be out of the range of something I can make a deal for at National if people follow that as the last sale. If something shows up that is in that other price range from the prior year, you know, we'll see if I can make a deal, if I could even find one. But again, only 24 copies of that, so finding one is very difficult, to say the least. So that's an honorable mention that, you know, again, I think it's going to be out of my target range, but you know, I can always pray. So the number one target on my list would be the 97.98 Upper Deck game jersey of Penny, the away jersey specifically. I'll take the home as well, but the away jersey is the one that I want. That blue jersey is something that I've always loved. You know, so that is a card that I think, again, raw copy, I think probably $2,000 is a fair target. The last one that sold was December of last year, right around, I think it was just under $2,000. You know, so anywhere between $1,500, $2,500, I think is probably what you could expect. But obviously, if one shows up and it's a PSA 10 or something like that, that's going to go for a lot more. But I'm really not interested in a graded copy. I mean, I won't say no to a graded copy, but I'm not trying to pay up for a graded copy of a card like that, especially. You know, so those are the 5, you know, 6 or 7 that I'm really looking for. I would be ecstatic, again, like I said, to come away with any one of these. But, you know, those first 2 are really head and shoulders above the rest, you know, being the embossed die-cut gold refractor from 97.98 and the UD game jersey from 97.98. Ironically, a lot of 97.98 on this list. Almost all 97.98 with, well, out of the 6 cards that I just shared, 3 of them are from 97.98. So anyway, that's what we've got for the list. If you have any leads on any of these cards, I would be, you know, very, very happy if you would send those my way or help me get in touch with people. You know, if you see one at the National before I get to it, you know, feel free, shoot me a DM, shoot me a text, let me know. It's always helpful to have eyes out there. If you hear another collector talking about that they have Penny cards or they collect Penny, let me know. You know, it's going to be really fun to see everybody, to meet new people, to make new connections, see all the cards, do all the things, eat all the food, all that fun stuff. So drop down in the comments if you are going to National, when you're getting there, how long you're staying. I'm going to be arriving on Tuesday whenever my flight gets in. It should be around midday on Tuesday, and I'll be leaving Sunday night, I think 6 o'clock. So I'll be there the whole entire time, so I would love to meet up, grab a slice of pizza, sit down, look through cards, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New videos dropping once, sometimes twice a week. We've got looks into my PC, occasional grading reveals, 90s pack openings, occasional collector interviews, show reviews, and so much more. Thanks. We'll talk later.